As I walk into homes, in order to prep a home for sale prior to putting it on the market, I generally start with the highest ROI things. And what are the highest ROI things? Number one, above all else, is cleanliness. So a deep clean, a lot of times with a professional cleaner, windows, baseboards, bathrooms, to where the house is sparkling, that goes a long way. You have a huge impact on your price and the way that the property is shown. Number two, what's the second most impactful thing? To me, is curb appeal. And that means cleaning up all of the weeds, cleaning up all of the flower beds, sharply edging all of the grass along the driveways and the sidewalks. Another way of improving that curb appeal is sometimes restaining the front door or painting the front door. And a lot of times you can be pretty wild with your paint color on the front door, and it can give the home character. Another good thing to do on the outside is to power wash. Power wash the driveway, the sidewalks. All of that leads into a lower time on market and a higher sales price, which is what every seller has that desire. The third best return on investment as far as spending money on the front end is fresh paint, inside and out. If the walls are not neutral, if they're scuffed up, if they're showing stains, if they're faded, great money spent. You can paint a house, especially if you do it yourself, for pennies on the dollar. As far as the impact that you'll get from your actual sale. So a lot of times that doesn't necessarily speak as much into due diligence as market prep for selling the home. But during the due diligence period, what I found that is standard operating procedure for home inspectors in our market is if you've got a dirty HVAC system, they're going to be asking for you to clean and service. So one of the quick things you could do is change out your filters or have your HVAC guy come in and clean and service that unit prior to the home inspection being performed. That's a big one. Obviously, if you have toilets that are running, if toilets are leaking under the toilet on the ground, I will get that remedied. There's a law of diminishing returns in regards to improvements or market prep. If you have floors that are not perfect on a level of being super updated, but they're really nice, paint and cleanliness will go a long way without spending thousands of dollars, if not $10,000s of dollars on new flooring. Setting that aside, if you have carpet that has stains on it and things of that nature, carpet is the least expensive flooring product. I would replace it. It goes a long way. Look, you're selling a highly illiquid asset. So all of the actions that you can take on the front end can mitigate all of the, they can mitigate a lot of that time and pain that you feel as a seller going through this process.